Yo, what's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the fourth and final Swiss round of locals feature matches for this week. Next couple days, we'll be having top four and the finals going up for that Albash Strike playmat. So yeah, stick around for that. More feature matches coming this week. So here in this matchup, we have basically based versus based. That's why there's no poll, because it's like basically a mirror match. We have basically P.U.N.K, Adventurer, Destiny, Synchro on the left with Tenyi versus Destiny, Adventurer, Syncro on the right, or SAD as it's being called. So yeah, we're gonna see the P.U.N.K version on the left, Windiral here, leading with Fateful Adventure. Fateful Adventure is going to go ahead and search out the Wandering Griffin Rider, which in this deck does not only act as sort of like one of your main forms of interruption, but also can act as an extender because this is level 7, paired with any of the level 3 P.U.N.Ks or any of the Rose Dragons, helps you step up into Baron de Fleur. Which I always thought was like kind of like counterproductive, because I mean, I guess that's why most of these builds typically play 2 Griffin Rider, because the one hits the grave and that's kind of out of the loop. So you trade like one Omni Negate that basically removes itself for another Omni Negate that removes itself. Like once Baron uses Negate, it's done. Same thing with Griffin Rider, like it's done for the turn. And I just always thought that was like very counterproductive. Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess you could argue Griffin's or Baron's a better Omni Negate. So I guess in that sense it makes sense, but I don't know. I digress. So, we'll see him add the Foxy tune by paying 600. Pay 6 dot engine. We basically just have 2 pile decks going off against each other here, and there is exactly what I was saying. I mean, the Griffin wasn't necessarily an Omni Negate at this point, although it could have been. But we'll see him Synchro into Baron, and we'll see him activate Foxy tune in hand to go ahead and attempt to search. And we're going to see Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring there. And we'll see if he lets that walk. Obviously, you have to be very careful where you decide to burn your Baron Negate, since it is a one-and-done type deal, which I really like, honestly. I do really like cards that are kind of like negates like that. I kind of hope that's something that continues to be like common practice going forward, where it's not a negate every single turn. Cards with like limited negates. Borload Savage Dragon, for example, only as many negates as it has counters. And then you also have a card like Baron, which is a negate only once while it's face up on the field, which is a really cool concept. I hope we see more of that in the future. I feel like it's better for balancing. So we're gonna see Imperm for our other player here on the right, and we're gonna see it allow him to potentially go ahead and resolve the Enchantress, but there's gonna be another Ash on the Enchantress, just hand trap back and forth here. And unfortunately, that will cause him to pass turn. Did not open up super well. I don't know if you guys got a glimpse of the opening hand. Just opening up a lot of hand traps and basically one engine card, which is very unfortunate. But that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes, unfortunately, right? So we're going to see Baron bait out the back row, chain Imperm, right? No reason to use Baron's Negate there. Just because the Negate's going to come back online next turn anyways. I also see a Phantasme in the hand for our SAD player. Which is an interesting hand trap this format. I think that's like low-key, not a terrible hand trap. Because pretty much every deck, Prank Kids, this based / SAD deck, even Sword Soul, Tri Brigade, and I'm sure there's other decks I'm missing that link summon pretty regularly every turn. Hell, even Invoked with Almirage and Moon Maiden. Card can actually find a lot of value, and I think it's really decent. The only deck I think it's probably not that great against is something like the Despia deck, which is all over the place. Although maybe other popular versions like Tri Brigade Despia will become more popular, and then Phantasme finds a lot more value there because of the heavy link presence. But we're going to see him summon Hulk, and we will see Phantasme resolve, and I don't know, I think it's kind of cool to see it in this list, especially since Phantasme is not too commonly played, and I honestly think that card still hitting, honestly, in this day and age. So we'll see him draw 2, put back 1, help kind of cycle the hand there, which is really important in this situation since he did not open up super well. We're going to see the Hulk summon out the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and we're seeing him go battle phase. Baron clears the Phantasme. Hulk swings in for 15. Speaking of Hulk, a lot of people have been kind of calling for a Hulk ban or a Rorodon ban. I'm personally on the side of Hulk ban, and unfortunately our other Synchro Adventurer Destiny player not able to find the cards he needs there, just drawing into way too many defensive cards and having to scoop it up. So we're into a game 2, and we'll see him lead here in game 1 with the Foolish Burial for Enchantress. See if it resolves. Looks like the answer is no yet again. But yeah, Hulk versus Aurorodon kind of debate. I personally am on Team Hulk to get banned. I think the only reason Aurorodon's any good is because you have a Link 2 that basically makes it for the free. That's just my personal opinion. And then also on top of that, Hulk on its own is kind of insane. Like whether or not you're stepping up into Aurorodon or not, you're summoning a level 3 tuner piece to go into a Synchro like Baron, or getting an extender out of the deck that once you get that, you know, tuner off the field, put it in the grave, its effect is live just because the way Hulk is worded. Yes, the effects of the tuner that you summon are negated on the field, but once it's the grave, you can still use its effect. And then its tag out effect as well. Going for things like Desert Locust, Formula Synchron, going for Shooting Riser Dragon to dump floodgates like Snow and Token Collector. Card does a lot on its own. Yes, it can get you into Aurorodon extremely easy, but I think Aurorodon is only in trouble because Hulk makes it so easy. Outside of that, I don't know what other deck is making Aurorodon that easy. That's just my opinion, and yeah, doesn't really matter too much here. I just wanted to kind of bring it up. We will see a D barrier though on like the Rocks Rose effect, and probably calling Synchro, as you cannot call Link on D barrier. We'll see him go Hulk. Hulk's gonna get Veilered, and yeah, like pretty good way to shut down the turn there. I do see Imperm, Draco back, another Ash, so just like a ton of hand traps here. Not looking good, as I think our Synchro Adventure Destiny player opened up another unfortunate hand of just too many defensive cards and not enough engine, which is really unlucky here, especially since our P.U.N.K Synchro Adventure Destiny player, whatever the hell you want to call it, opened up with a lot of defensive cards as well. And I think I see double Fateful Adventure here in the hand. That's extremely unfortunate. I know double Fateful is kind of common in these types of decks just because of like the added grind game that it gives. So that's not super surprising. He draws Ghost Ogre for turn. This could get access to Fibrax here, but obviously the question is, will it resolve? That's another thing, because you can get the level 4 token, and you got the Synchro 7 into Yazi, but I don't think this build is playing any Tenyu, so the Yazi route's not really a thing here. So we're going to see him add the Draco back, and then I feel like here you definitely use the effect to go ahead and search a monster. Which, well, honestly doesn't do anything. Maybe the play, I mean, now we're going to see the Hulk tag into Shooting Riser. I was going to say, maybe the play is just activate Fateful, and then Fateful effect, grab a monster, grab Griffin Rider, discard something else in hand, discard the other Fateful, spec Griffin Rider, normal Ogre, make Baron. I feel like that was definitely the play here. But now with the Ogre on board, getting Griffin Rider really doesn't make sense at this point because you can't do anything with it. And as I mentioned earlier, we're seeing the Shooting Riser get summoned off of the Fibrax, dumping a Token Collector. Yes, it cannot be used this turn, but it will be basically a floodgate our Synchro Adventure Destiny player is going to have to worry about for the rest of the game. And we're going to see an Ash on the Monster Search, and that's just going to be the match there. Unfortunately, just too many bricks here for this one. I hate to see that. Sometimes that's Yu-Gi-Oh, though. And we're going to see the Punk variant here take the match 2-0. If you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members. They are Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Keith Sidgers, Justin Lamb, Master Visa, and HCH Cyber. Thank you guys so much for your extremely kind and generous support of this channel.